The first thing that stopped his breath was not the rain soaking his jacket or the weight of groceries digging into his fingers, but 3 identical faces standing in front of him at the school gate, eyes wide and certain, voices blending into one moment that cracked his world open. Triplet girls, no older than 7, looked up at him with a strange mix of courage and innocence, greeting him politely and calmly explaining that their mother had a tattoo exactly like his, and in that instant Daniel Carter froze so completely that the noise of the street faded, the years folded inward, and a past he had buried deep clawed its way back to the surface. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles life sometimes hides in ordinary moments, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this, and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Daniel had been a single father for nearly 8 years, though the word father often felt heavier than it sounded. His life had narrowed into routines shaped by survival rather than dreams. Mornings started before dawn, with coffee brewed too strong and silence that pressed in on him before his daughter woke up. Evenings ended with exhaustion that settled into his bones like winter cold. He worked long shifts as a structural engineer, a job he once loved but now treated as a lifeline, because it paid the bills and kept the lights on. His daughter Emma was the reason he kept going, the anchor that held him steady when grief threatened to pull him under. Her mother, Lily, had disappeared from their lives years ago, leaving behind questions that never found answers and a pain Daniel learned to carry quietly. The tattoo on Daniel's wrist was small but unmistakable, a delicate compass rose inked in black with a tiny initial at the center. It was not a fashionable choice or a spontaneous one. It had been a promise, etched into his skin during a summer when the world felt endless and love felt unbreakable. Lily had the same tattoo, mirrored on her ankle, a symbol of finding home in each other no matter where life took them. When she left, Daniel had considered removing it, but grief convinced him to keep it, as if erasing the ink would erase the only proof that love like that had ever existed. Life after Lily's disappearance had been a slow rebuilding. Daniel learned how to braid hair clumsily, how to cook meals that were edible even if they lacked warmth, how to attend school meetings alone without showing how out of place he felt among couples. He learned how to smile when Emma laughed and how to cry only in the shower where no one could hear him. He told himself that closure was a luxury he could not afford, that some stories simply ended without explanations. So when the Triplet girls appeared in front of him that rainy afternoon, their words struck him harder than any truth he had faced in years. They did not know him, yet they knew the tattoo. They did not know his story, yet they carried a piece of it with them. Daniel's mind raced through impossible scenarios, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and hope that felt dangerous. He noticed how the girls clutched each other's hands, how their shoes were worn but clean, how their eyes carried a seriousness that did not belong to children so young. The days that followed were restless and heavy. Daniel could not focus at work, could not sleep through the night. The image of the triplets replayed endlessly in his mind, layered over memories of Lily's smile, her laugh, the way she used to trace the tattoo on his wrist when she thought he was asleep. He wrestled with doubt, with the fear of reopening wounds that had barely healed, but something deeper than logic pulled him forward. It was the same instinct that had guided him through fatherhood alone, the same quiet voice that told him when Emma needed comfort before she even asked. Through careful steps and unexpected connections, Daniel learned the truth piece by piece. Lily had not disappeared by choice. Life had broken in ways Daniel never imagined, pushing her into circumstances shaped by fear, illness, and silence. The Triplet girls were hers, born after she had been forced to leave, raised in a fragile balance of love and struggle. Their mother had spoken of a man with a compass tattoo as a symbol of safety, a story she clung to during nights when the future felt unbearable. When she passed away, that story became a direction, leading the girls to ask questions they were brave enough to voice. Meeting them again, truly this time, cracked Daniel open in ways he did not resist. He saw Lily in the curve of their smiles, in the stubborn tilt of their chins, in the way they watched the world carefully as if expecting it to vanish without warning. He also saw his own reflection in their uncertainty, in their quiet hope that someone would choose them. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him, but it was accompanied by a strange, fragile lightness, the feeling that maybe life was not finished with him yet. Bringing the girls into his home was not simple or smooth. The house felt too small, the routines too fragile. Emma struggled at first, torn between jealousy and curiosity, afraid of losing the only parent she had ever known. Daniel stumbled through conversations, through paperwork, through nights where doubt whispered that he was not enough for this many hearts. But slowly, imperceptibly, things began to change. Laughter filled rooms that had been silent for years. Dinner became loud and messy. Emma found sisters where she once felt alone, and Daniel discovered that love did not divide when shared, it multiplied. The challenges were real and unrelenting. Money was tight, emotions ran high, and grief resurfaced in unexpected ways. There were nights when Daniel sat alone after everyone slept, staring at the compass tattoo on his wrist, wondering if Lily had known this would happen, if she had trusted him to find his way. He learned that healing was not about forgetting pain but about carrying it together, about allowing joy to exist alongside sorrow. As months passed, the home transformed into something warmer, something alive. The triplets grew more confident, their guarded expressions softening into smiles that reached their eyes. Emma grew into her role as a big sister with pride she tried to hide but never fully could. Daniel learned to forgive himself for the years he lost, understanding that survival had been its own form of courage. If this story is touching something inside you right now, if you feel that quiet ache of hope mixed with tears, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps these stories reach hearts that need them. Just before the ending, please comment and tell us whether you believe family is defined by blood, love, or choice. On a calm evening years later, Daniel stood in the backyard watching the children play, the compass tattoo catching the fading sunlight. He realized that the symbol no longer represented a past promise but a living truth. Home was not a place you returned to, it was something you built, piece by piece, with patience, sacrifice, and unwavering love. The world had broken him once, but in doing so, it had led him to something greater than he ever imagined. And as the laughter echoed around him, Daniel finally understood that some freezes in life are not the end of movement, but the moment everything begins again.